Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth?
Senator Kennedy, it is not a yes or no question. I support women like Ms. Zarowski. Women across this
No, ma'am, I don't. I think it is a yes or no question.
Welcome back to MAGA Capital, where we bring you the truth and nothing but the truth. If you love this country, if you believe in the Constitution, and if you're tired of the nonsense coming from the far-left agenda, then you're in the right place. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Together, we can fight for American values and keep our freedoms alive. Let's dive into today's topic. All right, Patriots, today we're breaking down a heated exchange between Senator John Kennedy and a panel of so-called experts on abortion rights. Now, this wasn't just your average Senate hearing. This was a moment of clarity, exposing the lengths to which some people will go to avoid answering a simple, straightforward question. This hearing was about a crucial issue: whether or not it should be legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth, for any reason. And let me tell you, folks, this is not just a political debate. This is a fight for the soul of our nation. Senator Kennedy, as always, came prepared. He asked a simple yes or no question to one of the panelists, Professor Goodwin. Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth? Now, any reasonable person with a shred of moral clarity should be able to answer this question. But what do we see instead? Professor Goodwin dodged the question. She refused to give a straight answer. She danced around the issue, claiming it's not a yes or no question. But let me tell you something, Patriots, it absolutely is a yes or no question. Either you support this extreme, barbaric idea, or you don't. And let's not forget, this isn't just a hypothetical. There are bills being pushed by the far left in Congress right now that would allow for abortion up until the moment of birth, for any reason. This isn't about protecting a woman's life or health. This is about giving unfettered discretion to terminate a human life at the final moments of pregnancy. And when you ask these so-called experts if they support it, they can't even muster the courage to admit where they stand. If they truly believe in this, why not just say it out loud? Let's watch the full Senate hearing, and I'll be giving my full response and reaction afterwards.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. Professor Goodwin, help me understand your point of view. I think this is a yes or no question. Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth?
Senator Kennedy, it is not a yes or no question. I support women like Ms. Zarowski. Women across this...
No, ma'am, I don't... I think it is a yes or no question.
No, well, let me answer.
If there were a law that's... I'm just trying to understand your perspective, and I'm not accusing you of this.
Of course not.
But you know, people sort of talk around this issue. If there were a bill that said that a woman has an unfettered right to abort an unborn baby for any reason up to the moment of birth, would you vote yes or would you vote no?
Senator Kennedy, I refuse to be shackled by your question. What I have answered is that there are conditions that occur
you don't know
during
whether
pregnancy.
You would vote yes or no?
There are conditions during pregnancy that mean after 10 weeks,
no,
14 weeks,
I said
20 weeks,
discretion.
24 weeks, conditions such as Ms. Zarowski.
You're here advocating.
I would support her life.
I
would support her personhood.
But you're advocating a law.
I support her personhood.
You're advocating a law that says that an unborn baby can be aborted up to the moment of birth for any reason, are you not?
Let me clarify what the 14th Amendment says in the first sentence, that citizens of this United States are individuals that are born. That is what our Constitution says.
But why won't you answer my question, Professor? I'm not trying to argue. I just want to understand what your position is, and I think you're afraid to say that you do support that. If you do support it, I think you, just for the purpose of a intellectual discussion, you ought to just say so.
For purposes of an intellectual discussion, I'm happy to have that with you, but that's not the tone.
Could you answer my question? Do you support, please? I mean, you teach, okay? I'm sure you've had students ask this question. Do you support making it legal to abort an unborn baby for any reason, up to the moment before birth?
Senator, let's have that intellectual discussion that you want.
We could start if you'd answer my question. I can't go to my next question until you answer that question.
I want you to be able to go to your second and your third questions. I do. But as I have explained, there are many different conditions.
No, I said unfettered discretion, no conditions. I'm making it easy for you.
Well, I've already shared with you, Senator, that I support women's
I don't want to use all my time. You're not going to answer it, and that is your right. But I would respect you more if you just say, here's my answer.
I'm sorry that you don't respect me very much.
I do respect you, but I said I'd respect you more if you just answer my question. Doctor, tell me how to say your last name.
Rubenhorst.
Ms. Dr. Rubenhorst, do you support a law that would allow, for any reason, unfettered discretion, the abortion of an unborn child up until the moment of birth?
No.
You don't. Dr. Verma?
Senator Kennedy, so I'm the one doctor in this room that does provide abortion care, and I can tell you that does not reflect the reality of abortion care.
I understand. I'm just asking a question.
It simply doesn't happen.
But do you support it? There are bills before Congress that will allow that to happen. You don't support it, or are you going to not answer my question?
As the doctor in this room who does provide abortion care, that is not how abortion care in this country works. It's a hypothetical that does a disservice to our
But if a patient came to you and said, I'm going to probably have a baby this week and I've changed my mind, and I would like you, doctor, to abort the child, would you do it?
That is not how abortion care in this country works.
But if a patient did, would you do it?
My job as a doctor is to look at each individual situation.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I can tell neither you nor the professor will answer my question. I think you both have an opinion, and I don't understand why you won't share it. We're going to solve this problem.
I've provided care for a few years, and I've never seen that situation.
How about you, Doc? Would you?
I do not support unfettered abortion, and I would like to point out that if a woman did have a life-threatening condition in pregnancy past approximately 22 weeks, that baby can be delivered alive by induction or C-section, and we can try to save that baby. The intent of abortion is a dead baby, and that is not necessary in that situation.
I want you to all understand where I'm coming from. This is a tough issue. And it's a tough issue because there's some tough questions we've got to answer. And when you won't answer the questions, when you're invited by my Democratic friends, the majority, and you won't answer the most fundamental question, we've got a bill in front of us that will basically say a woman has the unfettered right to abort at any time for any reason up to the moment of birth. And that's a gut check issue. And I would expect you as experts to answer that truthfully, how you do it. Thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Ossoff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of the witnesses for joining us and sharing your experiences and perspective. It's been tremendously impactful to hear from you. And Mr. Chairman, I do want to note and acknowledge that we have a Georgia physician with us, and Dr. Verma. Thank you for your work providing health care for Georgia women at a time.
Then we had Dr. Rubenhorst and Dr. Verma. Senator Kennedy asked them the same question. Do you support a law that allows abortion for any reason up to the moment of birth? Dr. Rubenhorst gave the same evasive answers, talking about how abortion care works in this country and refusing to address the question directly. But here's the thing. Senator Kennedy wasn't asking about how abortion care works. He was asking for their moral and ethical stance. And once again, we didn't get a straight answer. Now let's talk about Dr. Verma. She was the only medical professional on the panel who actually provides abortion services, and even she dodged the question. Kennedy asked her point blank, if a patient came to you at the end of her pregnancy and asked for an abortion, would you do it? And instead of answering, she went on about individual situations and medical judgment. Folks, this is not complicated. If you can't even say that you wouldn't perform an abortion on a baby that's viable, a baby that could survive outside the womb, then you've already answered the question. You're okay with it. Dr. Verma even admitted that in cases of life-threatening pregnancy complications after 22 weeks, the baby could be delivered alive via induction or C-section. So why, then, would abortion even be necessary at this stage? The intent of abortion, as Dr. Rubenhorst pointed out, is a dead baby. And that, patriots, is the uncomfortable truth that the pro-abortion lobby doesn't want you to hear. They want to frame this as a matter of choice and healthcare, but when you strip away the euphemisms, it's about ending a life. Period. Senator Kennedy hit the nail on the head when he said, this is a gut check issue. If you can't answer whether or not you support abortion up to the moment of birth, for any reason, then you shouldn't be testifying as an expert. This isn't a debate about nuances or rare medical conditions. This is about whether or not we, as a society, are going to allow the killing of viable, innocent children in the name of choice. And the fact that these witnesses couldn't, or wouldn't, answer the question speaks volumes. Patriots, this is why we have to stay vigilant. The far left is pushing these radical abortion laws under the guise of women's rights and health care. But what about the rights of the unborn? What about the sanctity of life? This isn't just about politics. This is a moral issue. And if we don't stand up and fight back, we're going to lose our country to this culture of death. So what can you do? First, share this video with your friends and family. People need to know what's going on in these hearings. Second, contact your representatives and let them know where you stand on this issue. And finally, keep supporting channels like MAGA Capital so we can continue to spread the truth. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Senator Kennedy's questioning and the panel's evasive answers. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks for watching, Patriots. Stay strong, stay free, and God bless America.